Hello, this is my Module 1 assignment for the thematic comparison analysis of well-written and well-implemented mission vision statements. My name is Jennifer Pollard, and I work for Wichita Public Schools here in Wichita, Kansas. I am currently at Coleman Middle School. It is a 6th through 8th building, and I work in the PBS, which is Positive Behavior Support Program. My career experiences are in 2004. I started out as a classroom teacher in elementary school. I taught for 15 years, and then I became a school counselor. I worked primarily with PBS students. And then this year, I took a position as a student support service administrative liaison, which kind of just means that I am the PBS coordinator for the program at Coleman Middle School. I attend all their IEPs, I maintain staff, scheduling, classroom observations, things like that. I spent my first semester at Cloud Elementary, learning the elementary part of the position, and I currently switched over in January to middle school, and I'm now learning how this position operates in middle school. The reason for that was the other person at Coleman had never had elementary experience, so it was just a good opportunity for us to switch roles and learn about the difference between elementary and middle school. Some personal information about me is that I have 2 daughters and a granddaughter that you can see in the picture below. They are in their early 20s, and my granddaughter just turned 3 last November. So I'm enjoying being a grandma and all of the fun that has to bring. My husband and I have been married for 8 years, and we enjoy traveling during the summer. He's from Baltimore, Maryland, so we go there often, all different seasons, because it is so different here that he gets a little homesick. We do have a trip planned to Alaska next summer for a week-long cruise, so I'm excited about that. As far as my schooling, I got my bachelor's degree in education from Wichita State University, and I also got my master's in school counseling from Wichita State, and currently working on my endorsement for Fort Hays. This is my first time doing online classes that require us to record ourselves, so I'm extremely nervous. Sorry about that. So to get to the serious stuff, by critical analysis, mission and vision statements are used by a variety of businesses, nonprofit organizations, and schools as a decision-making tool, according to Kern. You can't have a mission, the path to your school you should be on, without a vision, the destination your school should arrive at. So I really liked what that had said. Before you can write anything, you first need to determine what to include. And the best way to do this is to assemble a team that loops in representatives from each group of stakeholders. And through the process, encourage the team to discuss and draft versions, to go back and revise and edit, remembering that revisiting the statements again to reflect on them and update any goals seems to be pretty important and a consensus through all the articles that I read. Vision and mission statements push growth and learning in an inspirational direction. That all the hard work put into mission and vision statements is useless if you just, like, for example, put it up on your website and you forget about it, according to Capon 2019. And make sure parents and students know what the mission statement means, and tell potential students why it's so important to your school. It's also a good idea to revisit the statement at the beginning and end of every year. School vision statements. A vision statement is a written document that describes where an organization is going and what it will look like when it gets there. Reflects the hope of the future. Forward-thinking statements help to inform decision-making in the schools. And a vision statement is supposed to be a standard for your school, used to engage your progress in moving towards goals and creating further materials for school improvement. School mission statements are an integral part of an educational institution. Complements your school's vision, what you want your school to achieve in the future, and explains how you run your establishment. Mission statements doesn't mean much unless it's deeply integrated in how a school operates. You're building, or you wouldn't build the building without the blueprint, according to Bott in the article by Crawford. That statement, you wouldn't build a building without the blueprint, was just another analogy as educators that we get often, but I liked what it said. It meant to me that recently we built our home, so if it wasn't for the architect and going over those blueprints, then we wouldn't know what the finished product would be and how we were going to get there. So it was a deep connection with me that I made personally. Community created mission statements translates into practices that give a school's students what they need to be successful. It isn't just about the people, the educators in the building, it's about all the people involved. The core set of values. School stated values are based on what's important to the school community. Parents often choose schools based on values that align with their own, and statements help fulfill those expectations. Everyone at the school knows and lives the school's values, and over communicating the school's core values so they become second nature to everyone working there. Everyone should know the school's values and missions to help deliver kids to a promising future. Promotion of current future success, well-being of each student and adult. Vision and mission statements are written with forward-thinking vocabulary to acknowledge the work being done is for student success in the future. The statements guide stakeholders in decision-making, resource allocations, policy decisions, and how the school operates. Involving students in broadcasting the statement through art and multimedia rendition of the shared values and display them in areas such as classrooms, lunchroom, and hallways. This is a good start toward making the vision a meaningful part of students' lives. It can help remind everyone of their shared goals and promote buy-in from all stakeholders, according to UMass Global. I liked the idea of incorporating this with students. We are an AVID school, and just reading that statement makes me think of opportunities during AVID that teachers can have students work on that to promote and revisit the mission and vision of our school. Knowledge, skills, and commitments need collaborative-led design and implementation, mission, and vision. Maintaining the vision and mission statement will need to include all stakeholders, revising statements that are forward-thinking as time goes on, allowing time to collaborate, revise, and make sure that the statements are implemented with fidelity. The vision and mission statements should be an important part of the school culture. Revisiting the vision and mission statements with not only leadership and teachers, but also with students and parents. This will help ensure that the statements are not forgotten. Critical reflection. So this is our district USD 259's vision, mission, and shared beliefs. The vision is that Wichita Public Schools will be the district of choice in our region, where all students and staff are empowered to dream, believe, and achieve. And I would say that we have used the motto, dream, believe, and achieve for a few years now. And if you asked a Wichita Public Schools student what the vision of WPS is, they may not be able to tell you that. But if you ask them what does Wichita Schools believe in, they would probably tell you that we are going to dream, believe, and achieve. The mission is that Wichita Public Schools prepares all students to achieve college, career, and life readiness through an innovative and rigorous educational experience. The mission of WPS being college, career, and life readiness is relevant in all of our school buildings. I was like I said before, I was at Cloud Elementary the first semester, and I'm at Coleman Middle School this semester. And college and career life readiness is often talked about and seen throughout the schools. The our shared beliefs include student success, safety and belonging, family and community collaboration, visionary leaderships, civic engagement, and equity with diversity. I believe that the Wichita Public Schools shared beliefs not only encompasses the students and the staff and families, but the community collaboration and visionary leadership skills that people in the Wichita area is also important to our schools, and they provide a lot of assistance and opportunities for our students and staff. So our vision, mission, and shared beliefs is important to us and is given to families yearly, and posters are up in most of all of our schools and discussed often. Like I've said, I am at Coleman Middle School, pride of the East Side. We're on the east side of Wichita. The picture with the Coleman Middle School sign is the new part of our building, and we're known as, a lot of our conversations are about domes because our school is made up of domes and hallways. So that is a picture of the backside of the old Coleman Middle School, where we are the Coleman Cougars. So this was honestly my first look at the mission for Coleman Middle School, and reading it and then seeing that below it we have our 6 core beliefs for Coleman Middle School. There isn't, or I could not find, a separate vision statement. But I believe that our core beliefs kind of guide us in what our vision would be, just mapped out differently. Our core beliefs, I believe, are taken from our WPS beliefs, so they're not exactly the same, but similar. The mission statement is relevant in the work that we do at Coleman, and when you enter our building, I do believe that you see the idea of our mission statement and the core beliefs in not just the classroom when students are learning, but in conversations that are made throughout and in the environment. We will be an environmental magnet school next year. And so thinking that maybe I ought to go to some of those magnet implementation meetings that they have and see where our mission and vision and beliefs may change next year, and if they have started working on that already, or if that's something that will be introduced at the very beginning of the year. Our administration is very future focused, so I'm assuming they've probably talked about it and have already come up with rough drafts. So I will look into what that means as far as changing our mission and vision. The mission of Coleman Middle School is to educate students in a safe and supportive environment to become self-directed learners with a sense of purpose and commitment to productive lives. Coleman exists for the students. Our mission statement is student-focused. If you don't see the 6 core beliefs that helped guide the educators with the mission, I feel like it's missing something, but maybe because we've always seen mission and vision statements together. I'm not sure how Coleman Middle School did it at the beginning of the school year, but I know typically in my 20 years of being in Wichita Public Schools, Usually there is a moment during Teacher Report Week in August when administration puts up on the, overhead or whatever, the mission and vision of the school from the prior year. And usually it's something that educators or the teachers in the room don't really get too excited about. Typically it's read out loud. The administrator asks if anybody has any ideas or do they think that needs to be changed. Typically, I think I've maybe sat in on 4 or 5 different times when discussion has been had that the mission statement or the vision statement needs to be changed. And if it is, it's usually because the district is promoting or prompting us to make some more future thinking ideas in our statements. The 6 core beliefs at Coleman are revisited during our school meetings. And school meetings are like our staff meetings, our team meetings, collaboration meetings, our AVID meetings. Those meetings, we often choose one to discuss and how we have implemented or revisited it that week, or we pick 3 for the month. So our core beliefs are visited often. School support and the continuous improvement plan, improvement that reflects the core set of values and priorities. The core values are seen in the school setting and in the data collection for our students. Again, without the presence of our beliefs, the mission statement is lacking some information, I think, and maybe because it's very concise and to the point and doesn't give the idea that the 6 core beliefs do. Social emotional well-being is the focus that the district says is important. Many stakeholder meetings were held after COVID, and one of the things that parents said they felt like a struggle for their students was their social emotional health. I know the district had many meetings with stakeholders represented from different schools and with parents to discuss what kinds of things the schools could do socially and emotionally for their students. One of the things the district did was implement again, because we've had it before, second step curriculum to address the social and emotional needs. However, I'm afraid that not all teachers use second step with fidelity. I know that in middle school, we have during our study hall or pride hour, teachers are to go over second step lessons at least once weekly. Elementary, it is daily, and I don't know anything about high school, but I know that there is a place for improvement there. My concluding statements. I've realized after reflecting on this that I haven't understood or been interested enough in the importance of the mission and vision statements for schools. There are so many things during report week that are given to us and introduced to us that I think it's the in how the administration presents it would be very, very important on how teachers would respond to it and other educators in the building. When revisiting that during report week, I think it's important that not only do we go over it yearly, but that the administrator tells and informs everybody of how important it is and why there is such a thing and what the difference between a vision and a mission is, the process and the goal. And the statement needs to be revisited periodically throughout the school year, not just with staff members, but also with students and with parents. It needs to be posted and put up and referred to. Relevancy. As an administrative liaison in my position, this assignment has made me aware of how important the work in a building is for student success. There's more than just the everyday tasks that happen throughout the day and in the building. The mission and vision statements are the beginning of what we do and need to be implemented and revisited to help achieve student success. As a future school leader, since this assignment makes staff aware of how seriously they should take the school's mission and vision statements, helping them understand the reason for them and why we need to keep them updated for the success of our students. Again, in my position with the PBS program, we're a little bit like an island off to ourselves. But going over the vision and mission with students, when I'm going over their plans to get out of PBS and how they can get into more general education classes, that introducing this to them is a way of showing them the connection between everything that we do. Personal reflection. This assignment has introduced the understanding of the mission and vision statements. The information retained from this assignment will help me when having conversations with other staff members, like I had said in the previous, and when working with our students. When new initiatives are introduced to schools, it will be very important to revisit the mission and vision statements and make sure the statements are following the progression of the new initiatives. My new ideas, or an important idea, would be to revisit the mission and vision statements with building leadership first to get their input, and creating a learning environment where they can start to communicate the importance with other staff members. So if the administrator brought it to the building leadership team and they spent time looking at it and understanding it, then the leadership team's knowledge could help kind of connect the rest of the building and introduce it to them in a way that isn't so, or doesn't seem to be as unimportant as it really is, that they can understand and then be able to show some excitement and eagerness for it to kind of, like spread throughout the building. When you do it with the whole staff, to review, make sure they understand, and not just agree, but collaborate is very important. This is my reference pages. And again, thank